What if the universe had never learned to shine? Before atoms could ignite, before stars could flare, what if there was no flash of photons, no glow of distant suns, no reflection in the eye of any living thing? What if darkness was not the absence of light, but the only state the cosmos had ever known? Would the universe still exist? Would matter still form? Could time itself flow in eternal darkness? Or would reality collapse into nothingness? Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine you're floating, suspended in a place where sight has no meaning. No sunrise has ever broken over any horizon. No reflection has ever danced across water. No shadow has ever been cast. In this universe, there are no colors, no spectrum, no wavelengths bending through space. There is only the hum of existence itself. And yet, something stirs. Particles drift, energy flows, space expands. Even in darkness, the laws of physics hum, unseen but unbroken. This is where we begin, where the universe waits to reveal its secrets. Light is not decoration. It is the universe's messenger, the thread that weaves reality together. A photon is born in the chaos of a collapsing star. It travels for millions of years across the emptiness of space and touches your eye. In that instant, you see. But light is more than vision. It is information. It is energy. It is the electromagnetic force made visible. Every atom that bonds, every chemical reaction that sustains life, every signal sent between neurons in your brain, light, or its cousins in the electromagnetic spectrum, plays a role. Without it, the universe would not be silent. It would be unknowable. So what happens when we remove it entirely? Not dim it, not hide it behind clouds or dust, but erase it from the very beginning. To answer that question, we must return to the moment the universe was born. In the first moments after the Big Bang, the universe was not dark. It was a seething ocean of energy, so hot, so dense that matter and light were inseparable. Photons collided with electrons, protons fused into helium. The cosmos was opaque, a fog of pure radiation. But then, 380,000 years later, something changed. The universe cooled, electrons bonded with nuclei, atoms formed, and for the first time, light could travel freely. This moment is called recombination. It is the birth of transparency. Today, we still see the echo of that light, the cosmic microwave background, the oldest light in existence. But what if recombination never happened? What if photons, those massless particles of light, simply never existed? The laws of physics are clear. Without the electromagnetic force, without photons to carry it, atoms would still form. Gravity would still pull matter together, but there would be no photon pressure, no radiation pushing outward against the collapse of gas clouds. Stars might still ignite, but they would behave differently, burn differently, and most importantly, nothing could see them. This is not a poetic metaphor. This is physics. A universe without light would not be empty, but it would be profoundly alone. Let us go deeper. A universe without light is not simply dark, it is fundamentally altered at every scale. To understand what we would lose, we must examine three layers: structure, chemistry, consciousness.
In our universe, light does more than illuminate. It shapes. When a cloud of hydrogen collapses under its own gravity, photons are born in the core. They push outward, resisting the inward pull. This balance between gravity and radiation gives stars their structure. Without photons, that balance breaks. Stars would still form, but they would collapse faster, burn hotter, die younger. Galaxies would still spiral through space, but their shapes would be different. The pressure of starlight, the gentle push against interstellar dust would be absent. And planets? They would orbit invisible suns. No warmth on their surfaces, no energy to drive weather, to churn oceans, to spark the chemistry of life. The universe would still have form, but it would be cold, silent, lifeless. Now consider chemistry. Every bond between atoms, every molecule that forms is governed by electrons, and electrons interact through the electromagnetic force. In our universe, photons are the messengers of this force. They allow electrons to feel each other across the emptiness of an atom. But without photons, the electromagnetic force would still exist. Electrons would still repel each other, atoms would still bond, but the range of that force would change. Chemistry would become local, slower, more rigid. The complex molecules that make life possible, proteins, DNA, enzymes, require precise electromagnetic interactions over tiny distances. Without light to mediate those interactions at every scale, complexity becomes fragile, and life as we know it becomes impossible. But perhaps the deepest loss is not physical, it is perceptual. Imagine a species evolving in a lightless universe.
They would have no eyes, no concept of color, no understanding of distance through sight. They might sense vibrations, feel heat, detect magnetic fields, but they would never see a star, never witness the curvature of space-time bending light around a black hole, never know the beauty of a nebula or the fragile glow of a distant galaxy. And more than that, they would have no way to study the universe beyond their immediate surroundings. No telescopes, no spectroscopy, no way to decode the history of the cosmos written in starlight. They would live in a universe they could never fully know. And so we arrive at a troubling question. If intelligence arose in such a place, would it even know to ask what it was missing? Or would darkness simply be the only reality it had ever known? We take light for granted. We wake to it. We chase it across seasons. We capture it in paintings, in photographs, in memories. But light is more than a gift. It is the reason we understand anything at all. Our entire perception of reality is built on photons striking the retina. Our science, our art, our philosophy, all of it began with someone looking up and seeing stars. What if we had been born in the dark? Would we have wondered about the cosmos? Would we have asked where we came from or why we exist? Or would we have assumed the universe was small, local, ending at the edges of what we could touch? Would we have ever looked for meaning in the void? Perhaps consciousness itself is an echo of light, a response to a universe that insisted on being seen. And without it, we are left with a haunting thought that understanding may be a privilege we were never guaranteed. So, what have we discovered? A universe without light would not be empty. Gravity would still weave the fabric of space-time. Matter would still clump into stars, planets, galaxies, but the universe would be fundamentally different. Stars would burn without radiance, planets would orbit in perpetual cold, chemistry would exist, but complexity would struggle to emerge, and intelligence, if it arose at all, would be trapped, unable to see beyond its own surface, unable to decode the history written in the cosmos, unable to ask the questions that define us. But here is what we must understand. Light is not magic. It is physics. It is electromagnetic radiation, a ripple in a field, a particle without mass traveling at the speed of causality itself. And yet, it is also the reason we know anything. Every star we see is a message sent across billions of years. Every spectrum we analyze is a fingerprint of distant chemistry. Every photon that reaches us is proof that the universe wants to be known. Without light, the universe would not disappear, but we would, because we are not separate from the cosmos. We are the part of it that learned to see itself. And that is the gift of light. Imagine one last time a universe born in darkness, where no eye ever opened, where no light ever traveled, where no question was ever asked. Would that universe have meaning? Would it have a story? Or would it simply exist, unknown and unknowable, until the end of time? Perhaps the real question is not what the universe would be without light, but what we would be without the ability to witness it.